Happy Space Hat Sunday on a Monday. It's been a hell of a weekend. I have some nuggets to share and I'm just gonna kind of flow with it, so let's see where this goes. I was going to a party on Saturday night. I had the intention to party from about 10 at night to 10 in the morning, so a big night. And I took an Uber to get to this party. The Uber ride was about 35 minutes. When I got in the car, I was alone. We start driving and I can feel the energy from all of the lights in New York City. And I was actually in Manhattan at that time. So I'm sitting in the back of the car and I feel all this light and I'm wearing this hat. So I just went like this and I had complete darkness. And the difference in brain work from processing all of those lights to being here was drastic. I could really feel it and I felt calm. So I had that covered, but the Uber driver was listening to the radio and it was sort of shitty music for me at the moment, let's just say. So I asked him, hey man, do you mind if we turn the music off and I'm sort of gonna meditate and relax back here? And he was like, cool, no problem. So now I got my cover, I got no music, and a 30-minute drive. And what I wanted to share here was that the sounds were incredible. And I couldn't help but notice how hard the mind wanted to identify the sound. So we're going over something, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. My mind is thinking, is that a bridge? Is that a tunnel? Is that da-da-da-da-da-da? And I was consciously bringing my attention out of the label zone and more into just receive the sound. You don't have to label it. You don't have to figure it out. Can you just receive the sound? And let me tell you, it was quite difficult. The mind kept hopping in. And I don't fight with it anymore. It's more of a graceful dance and an observation. But I thought it was valuable to report to you my experience in seeing how hard the mind wants to label and figure shit out rather than just surrendering and receiving. So there's that part. It also got me thinking about, in terms of the brain processing stimulation and energy and how much that can drain us. It is so important to have proper resting areas at a long party. Let me explain, because I think that I'm sort of just learning more about this on myself, and I've been paying attention to it for a few years now, and it's about tapping into the energy and respecting the waves of my energy and my reception throughout the night, so I can't fucking send it all night. The reason I have massive energy at 7 a.m., of course, I'm not going to discredit if I had some help in the form of acid, so there is that. But also I take naps during the parties when I'm not particularly connecting with the music or the vibe. So I was explaining to somebody that when I go to a big night of partying or a festival, I sort of have this I only dance when I can't not dance. Okay, so real quick, it's kind of confusing, but if you put me in a room and you play some music that I don't like, I'm not really gonna dance. I may be able to force a dance and try to find a groove in there. But what I'm trying to say is, if you put me in a room alone and you put on a banger that I'm connecting with, there is no chance that I won't dance. Like, I can't not dance. My body has to flow. Let's go, we're locked in. And I love that. So oftentimes at a party, I'm usually connected with the music and I am gone. But when there's stretches where I'm not connecting with it and I find myself like using energy trying to connect with it, uh, now I don't do that anymore. So I go and take a fucking little 30-minute rester on the couch or whatever. But this is why I think it's so important to have proper chill areas at the parties, because when I told people I was taking naps at the party, they're like, "What are you, what?" They don't understand it at all. So I think the majority of people end up staying in the cooker box of the energy, and to keep up with it and stay up, which from my perspective is pretty tough to do if you're going. I believe many people are maybe taking more substances to stay with it. And generally, at the end of the night, I think what ends up happening is people are really drained, like they're not able to really tap in. This is just my perspective, and I'm choosing to share it with you. There's no hate or disrespect to anyone. I'm just fucking sharing, okay? So it feels like people, like at the end of the night or at the after party, I got to the after party and I was hyped up and ready to go, and the music had me going, and I was kind of like tapping, like seeing who wants to play. And for most of the people there, it was like, hello, is anyone there? Like, whoa, you're in your own world and I'm gonna let you have that. But there wasn't this collective essence that I essentially come to the parties for. It felt to me like many people were sort of burned out, and there was a moment of boredom there for me, and I asked myself, what are you doing here? And I fucking didn't have an answer. So I started thinking more and more about it. It's like, what am I doing here? Well, I'm coming here to tap in to this energy that I believe we create together, guided by the music. And at this point, at 6 a.m, I wouldn't be here just to dance to music. I did a lot of dancing all night. I want to feel that connection with people. And right now, I don't really feel that it's here. So I went up to like 3 or 4 other people who I had been friendly with throughout the night. And I casually but honestly asked them, hey man, like, what are you doing here? And each person kind of just gave me this like, I don't know. And that was weird to me. Like, I'm here in New York connecting with all these amazing, conscious, beautiful, lovely people. And at the end of the night, it's 6 a.m. and we're standing, taking more stimulation when our brain probably can't take anything anymore. And then we can't even answer why we're here. It's like very unintentional. And it's me. I'm doing the same thing and I'm realizing it. And this is less of a critique of the nightlife scene and more of a critique of what I'm doing with my life and my energy and my precious attention. So fucking hell, I don't know if this made any sense, but in a nutshell, in one of the nutshells, I'm starting to pay more attention to the idea that I can't take music in for 9 hours straight and really get it. The brain needs time to rest. How much time? What does that rest look like? I don't know. I'm sure there's tons of scientific information out there, and I'll slowly make my way to that. Anyone watching this that's already studied that path, please, I invite you to reach out to me. I'd like to learn from your experience and perspective. But like, you can't focus and take in shit like that for that long. And if you don't give people the appropriate space to take their relative naps, to recharge and bring fresh energy back to the dance floor, you got a lot of people burning out and getting to vampire mode, and to stick around, they take more drugs. Then at the end of the night, it's 7 a.m., they got no fucking pump in them anymore, but their mind is still up because they're fucking high, so they don't go home and they stay here. And the vibe feels super flat. Just sharing my perspective. In all of that, I want to say I had a fucking incredible time and met incredible people. But there was too many times for me where I was like I just didn't feel that pizzazz, you know what I'm saying if you know what I'm saying, and you can tap into it. And there was moments of it, but throughout the night I just didn't really feel it. And my observation is partly that people aren't really like managing their energy well, or showing up with intention and then taking drugs. It's a big, really beautiful mess, and I want to clean up the way that I access what I'm chasing. So why am I going to the parties? I am looking for that feeling of freedom in my body, in my expression. When I'm on the dance floor going for it, it's like nothing ever. So I'm going for that, but I'm going for the essence of when you really connect with someone on the dance floor and you're dancing, and then you go and take a break and you talk for an hour about the deepest stuff, and you share a hug, you exchange contact information. You may never see each other again. You may be roommates in a year. That's why I'm coming to the parties. I only feel that at the parties. But I'm realizing more and more over the years that the parties I'm going for aren't... Basically what I'm saying is, I think as conscious human beings, if you're going to the parties for the same thing that I'm going for, I think that we can create better environments to tap into that essence. You cannot force that environment, but you can certainly create a space for it to happen with less distractions and things like this. So I'm gonna stop this ramble because I should really write this stuff down and present it to you more clearly. But here we are. So if you connect with any of this, feel free to reach out to me. And ultimately, I want to build a fucking team over time of people who get this. And I can come here and talk on the internet all day, and that's great, and it's nice to reach people. But one weekend here in New York, and the fucking connections and the people I really got with was so amazing. So I want to leave it with a moment of gratitude for that, and feeling so fulfilled. And in that, really, just to be honest, like, we deserve better than this sloppy, energetic field of parties. They're great, and there's fun to the chaosness, but if that's our go-to home base to tap into this transformational magic space of connection, I won't have it. We need a cleaner home base. I want a cleaner home base, and that's what I'm creating in my life, and hopefully some other people are feeling me and we can do it together. Less is more. Don't need a lot of people, just the same intention. Love you. Peace. Going to Mexico tomorrow. Techno Tuesday. Let's go.